Long time no see. I'm a bit far away. Right, closer. Will that do? Okay, closer. This week's theme, sorry that I missed last week's theme, there wasn't really much of an excuse. I was ill for a bit and then it was half term, it was a bit hectic and I just kind of missed it. To be fair, on my Monday day, that day, I was puking, so you wouldn't have wanted a video from me, but there isn't much excuse for me not catching up. Never mind, new week, fresh week. I was gonna do 2 videos this week and do the Halloween one, but I was like, meh, Halloween's gone now, it's all for Christmas. I'm kidding, too early, too early. Well, shops don't think so, but the real world knows it's too early for Christmas yet. But this week's theme is all about genealogy and our family's nationality and where we come from and all that kind of family tree-esque stuff. Michaela suggested this, so I'm thinking she might have something interesting to say. I must drop tea on myself, it's okay, nothing happened. But I don't really have anything interesting, not really. I kind of asked my parents and they were vaguely helpful and I've gathered like bits and bobs of stories throughout the years, but it's not like our family had like a major immigration struggle and it's not really that interesting, I don't think. Basically, the name Darcy, which is my surname, is of French origin, I believe. Although where that French origin comes from, I'm actually like, if I had more time, I would try and work it out, but time is something I do not have. I'm in a show right now and I have just figured out that I have rehearsals every single night for basically all of November. That's a lot of rehearsing. Anyway, some interesting stories that I did find out. My grandmother, on my mum's side, so my mum's mum, she's quite an interesting lady because she was a doctor. I mean, she's quite old, so she was a doctor when there weren't that many female doctors, so she's quite impressive, and she still, like, knows loads of crap. Like, I don't know, doctors and lawyers, I swear, they just, how much stuff they have to memorise and just be able to, like, pull off the top of their heads, blows my mind. I can memorise a script, but I can't just memorise, like, the anatomy of the human body or cases from centuries ago and stuff. I mean, mind blown. But she still like knows stuff, so it's impressive. But she was a doctor, but her dad, so my great-grandfather, was one of 12 children, and he sounds like an interesting bloke. He was one of a group of people who started the healthcare system. It's quite good. Yay, him. Also, apparently he was like this amazing jazz player, and he was in this jazz band when he was 16 and he got like medals for it and stuff, so he was this jazzy healthcare person. Doctor, he was a doctor as well. My grandmother comes from a long line of inventors, apparently, which is quite cool. See, if I had more time, I'd like to figure out what on earth they were inventing and what a long line of inventors actually means, but yeah. On my padre's side, his mum, my granny, is quite an interesting lady too. She went to university and she studied English literature, I want to say English literature, it was something Englishy. From, I want to say like Bedford College, I think that's the name they gave me, but basically like this London university, and she ended up with basically the best degree in all of London, basically. She got a first and she got like the top mark in all of London, so she was a smartie. She was also really good at art. She's passed away now, but me and my big sister is actually incredibly similar to her. We've now figured out with hindsight, and it's just like rats, because they could have got on so well, because we never really used to get on with her that well, me and Emma, when we were younger, but now we realise how cool she was, so it's just like, god damn it, but it's okay. But she was a cool lady. She like did loads of art, and she was like really smart and did loads of books. She even wrote books, and so she was just really smart. But my dad's side of the family come from Ireland, and there's something about the IRA, but I'm not entirely sure. I think one of them was involved, I'm not sure. But that's it. So I'm not sure whether this was interesting, but that's how I came to be. But, well, should we go back to basics? My padre and my mother. My dad, both his parents, my grandparents, were teachers, and they moved around a little bit, but mainly within England, whereas my mum, her dad was in the army, so she was an army brat, so she was born in like Singapore and she lived in Cyprus for a bit and she moved all around, and she finally kind of settled in Worcestershire in England, and then that's where she stayed for a late childhood and then went to university and stuff. They both went to university, my parents, and then they met in our hometown here because my dad moved here for a businessy thing and my mum moved here for work. Then they met, then they fell in love, then they got married, then they had me and my other sisters too, but I'm the important one. Right, so is that interesting? I'm really hoping someone's got like a really interesting story to tell. Maybe this is interesting. It's interesting to me, but I'm not sure whether it's interesting to other people. I'll see you next week. Bye!